Hey, good morning, Jess.
Good morning. How's it going?
Pretty good. You?
Oh, not bad. Just another day in the med student life.
Nice. Well, looks like some more exciting stuff coming out from Heydays this year, right? Want to talk a
Yeah.
little bit about the new Articat Catalyst?
Yeah, listen, that sled actually is pretty cool. Like I saw it again at the Audi's Power Sports show, and there's some things about it. Like obviously, we don't know all the details about it because it's only going to be coming out in 2024.
Yeah,
But Articat did want to let everyone know that they are coming out with something new, and they have some prototypes, like really pre-production prototypes. Like I was looking at it, and you could tell that a lot of the parts were 3D printed, and it was really just to show people what it's going to look like.
yeah,
But we wanted to make a video for everyone just to talk about some of the things we do know about what's new for Articat for 2024.
yeah. It's definitely a wicked looking sled for sure. I like it. And I mean, it's funny, I had a lot of cats in the past, and even in 2014, we ended up picking up my dad one of those ZR 7000 four strokes, and we rode that for like 3 years, put a bunch of K on it, and it was great and it was awesome. And I've always loved Articat, and I love the collaboration that they had with Yamaha,
Yeah.
but not a whole lot of change. Like since we had that ZR 7000 and in 2014, there hasn't been a ton of change. So it's really cool. It's great to see them sort of pushing some limits, competing, with Dew and Polaris and Yamaha, and definitely it looks like a really cool sled.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, really, like most people that don't know a lot of details about Articats, like you look at them and since 2012, like not a lot's changed until now. The reality was I did speak to some cat users, and there have been minor changes and suspension adjustments throughout the years since 2012, but it hasn't really been marketed well. So it's
Mhm.
appeared to the outside user that it really hasn't changed. But now, as you can see with the Catalyst, we're definitely having some big changes.
Definitely. All right, let's take a look at this catalyst. Yeah, it definitely looks pretty sweet. Has that Articat look. I love the designs of the cats in general. Like I think that again, like the ones that are out there, this generation that's out there now, they look great.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, honestly, like even though until now the chassis hadn't changed much, it's still one of the meanest looking sleds on snow. And with this Catalyst platform, it's definitely an Articat, just with a little bit of refreshment, which I think is nice.
Yeah. So I think the big thing is like the design enhancements that they're gonna make on this sled. Definitely what they're trying to do is centralize the weight more and also reduce the lower to have a lower center of gravity. So that's obviously going to make it handle better, than they already do. And that's definitely something, Dew's been working on that for a long time with their Gen 4. That was like the big one of the big things, right? So that
Yeah,
should be great.
yeah, like a lot of the when Skidoo went from the Rev XS to the Gen 4, like it was a huge jump because they did exactly that. They lowered that center of gravity, they centralized everything to make the rider input just that much more correlated with how the sled actually handled on the trail. And it definitely did make a difference, narrowing up that front so you sit closer right in the middle, having all the mass of the engine and you right in that center of the sled, and lower down
Mhm.
just makes the sled handle better. And I think Articat's piggybacking off of that, which is definitely going to be something positive for sure.
So they're lightening it up a bit for sure. So we don't have exact weights yet, but it sounds like they're using some different materials, composite materials more throughout the sled. Um, so no weights yet, but I mean it's already light as it is. I think their two strokes are pretty light. So this definitely will be better with weight for sure.
Yeah, like they're talking about, I've seen some numbers thrown around of approximately roughly 10% weight reduction, which is significant. Again, we don't have specifics because the sled hasn't actually been fully built yet.
Mhm.
So, but any amount of weight savings we know is crucial, especially for off-trail riding. And the other thing is that this platform is going to be used across three different areas, right? It's going to be used across trail riding, crossover, and mountain riding. So the lightweight is going to be significant in all three. And yeah, it's just interesting to see how a lot of brands are going to this idea of being able to use one chassis for three different purposes and just changing up certain parts of the suspension and the alignment to make it handle ideally in those three different scenarios, which are very different scenarios.
Yeah, so the one thing we read on one of the releases was they were saying that it's only coming out in a 600 first, which I thought was interesting too.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I think what happened is, from what I've heard, is they were really focusing on that new chassis, so they got the chassis ready, and they probably have a higher powered engine in the works. It's just not ready yet. So
Yep,
my prediction is next year it's going to come in this 600 that they're talking about, and then
maybe an 850.
yeah, then as the years go on, they're definitely going to come out with new engines for the chassis to really take advantage of it. But I think, yeah, just to start, it's coming in a 600, which is definitely it's definitely not the best for some of the guys that want the higher bore sleds. But
Exactly.
if you're patient, I guarantee you that they'll have those coming for sure.
I know everybody's talking about that little eyebrow up here. On
I
the
love the anti-symmetry. I think it's cool. Like, most sleds are pretty symmetrical, and I think this makes it a little bit different and something
It
different from
does
the
look
competition.
different for sure.
And I confirmed that eyebrow light doesn't have any functionality. Like, there's no sensor or anything there. They purely did it just for design.
So this I love, and I mean, there's no doubt that the competitors need to step up to linq, right? And this new attach system, I think that they've built, it's a locking system for all of the accessories and all of the baggage. It definitely looks great. Not sure what what it actually looks like yet. I mean, this is obviously prototype pictures, but I'm hoping they've got a solution to cover that keyhole, because that's going to be an issue if it's not covered with snow getting in and that freezing up. We've seen that before, even with our locks, right?
Yep.
But
Yep.
definitely a good idea to have it all integrated.
The other thing that's super cool about that is, unlike Skidoo and other brands, like they may make locks, or they may be locks made for the bags or for the accessories. Here it's included. So you buy a bag from Articat for like for this attached system, and it comes with that
Comes
lock.
with
So it's
it.
not extra money you have to spend, which I think is really nice to be included.
Yeah, I totally agree. Looks good. I'm assuming they're gonna have, a bunch of different new bags and stuff and new accessories. So we'll see what they come out with. We're always sort of doing the comparison. Linq is pretty much the standard for us, and probably the standard in the industry that they're gonna have to compete with. So it'll be interesting to see exactly what accessories they come out with for these as well.
Yeah, and in terms of the technology, we also don't really know about the gauge and stuff like that. They haven't really spoke about it, so there's a chance that they're going to use that same gauge that they've been using previously.
Yeah,
But my prediction would be they probably will come out with a new gauge. Who knows if it's going to be for 2024? Again, this is super early. They're releasing the sled like much before you would actually like for 2024 production. So I think we're going to find more details as it comes out. But we really just wanted to talk about things we do know about it, and that it is super exciting and it's great for Articat. They're coming out with something new. It's going to get everyone excited again. And again, as I've always said, the more having these four snowmobile brands is crucial, because it creates competition, which drives innovation, right? Like if it's just Skidoo, or if it's just Polaris, or if it's only two brands, you really don't have that same level of competition. And I think it's just worse for everyone. Having those four brands really results in the industry continuing to progress further and further.
yeah, I totally agree. I'm also interested to see what they do with tracks for them as well. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so it'll be interesting to see, what they include for track options. But I'm sure as it gets developed, more information comes out. Definitely looks cool. I love the design. I think it looks amazing. And yeah, we'll see. It's good on Articat. We'll see where they go with it.
Yeah, the only other thing I was going to say was they did talk about an updated suspension front and rear, but again, we don't know any details about that. Obviously, it's going to be an improvement over what they had previously, so I'm excited to hear details about that. But yeah, guys,
They had actually started, and they released one of the first electronic suspensions. Like
yeah, the
they
I
had, yeah, exactly. So it'll be interesting to see where they go with that and how that all comes together, right? If it's a fully electronic suspension on the new one as well. So that'll be cool to see.
Yeah, listen, at the end of the day, this is early. There's going to be lots of stuff coming out. I'm excited to see what comes from Articat. But we really just wanted to make this video to show you guys what we do know and what's coming. So we hope you enjoyed it. Definitely shoot us a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let us know what you guys find out about the new cats. We'd always love to hear it.
All right, cool. Well, good to see you, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
See you guys. If you like that video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the Sledaddicz YouTube channel, where we release content on everything snowmobiling. Also, hit that bell icon so you can be updated every time we release new videos.